Ever wondered what a king's pet collection looked like? Forget cats and dogs. We're talking polar bears swimming in the Thames, elephants crashing royal weddings, and leopards guarding castle gates. Medieval kings basically ran the world's weirdest pet shops. Let me tell you about the Tower of London's most unusual residence, and I'm not talking about ghosts. For over 600 years, this famous fortress was home to the royal menagerie, where lions ruled as the star attraction. These weren't just any lions, they were living symbols of royal power. Kings would show off their mighty beasts to visiting diplomats like medieval mic drops. The first lion arrived in 1235 during Henry III's reign, and the big cats became such a huge deal that the guy in charge of feeding them had an official title, Master of the King's Lions. Imagine that on your business card. The lions lived in a section called the Lion Tower, where visitors could peek at them for a small fee, or if they were feeling brave, toss in a cat or dog as a snack. Yeah, medieval entertainment was pretty wild. Speaking of wild royal pets, let me tell you about the most bizarre one, Henry III's fishing polar bear. In 1252, the King of Norway sent Henry a living, breathing polar bear as a gift. But here's the crazy part. This bear had a super long chain attached to it so it could swim and fish in the Thames River. Imagine walking across London Bridge and seeing a massive white bear catching salmon right below you. The poor bearkeeper had to row alongside in a boat while the bear did its thing. And get this, the bear was so expensive to feed that Henry had to assign a whole sheriff's salary just to keep it fed with fish. Talk about a high-maintenance pet. You think modern influencers are extra with their pet collections? Meet Eleanor of Aquitaine, the OG pet influencer of medieval Europe. This queen didn't mess around with basic falcons. She went straight for golden eagles. We're talking about birds with wingspans bigger than a person, trained to hunt wolves and deer. Eleanor kept dozens of these magnificent birds in her royal mews, each worth more than a knight's annual salary. She even wrote her own falconry guide, which was basically the medieval equivalent of a viral Instagram tutorial. The coolest part, she'd roll up to diplomatic meetings with her favorite eagle perched on her arm. Nothing says "I'm a boss" like casually handling a bird that could take down a wolf. Okay, this is where things get really bananas. Medieval courts were absolutely obsessed with monkeys. They were like the TikTok stars of their day. Rich nobles would dress them up in tiny human clothes, complete with mini hats and jackets. These little comedians would run around castle halls, stealing food from plates and mimicking the stuffy behavior of courtiers. The most popular breeds were Barbary macaques. People actually thought they were practicing to become human. One French king had a monkey that would sit at formal dinners, copying everyone's table manners and making the whole court crack up. But here's the best part. Some castles even had special monkey rooms where these furry pranksters could entertain guests with their antics. Let me tell you about the most over-the-top wedding gift in history. In 1255, King Louis IX of France sent Henry III of England a real live elephant. Talk about upstaging everyone else's gift registry. This massive grey guest arrived by ship, and the people of London lost their minds. They'd never seen anything like it. The poor elephant had to trek all the way from the docks to the Tower of London, creating what was probably medieval Britain's first traffic jam. The monks at the tower had no clue how to care for it, so they experimented with feeding it everything from wine to beef. Spoiler alert, elephants don't actually love English cuisine. Let's switch gears to the unsung heroes of medieval castles, cats. These furry warriors started as humble rat catchers but worked their way up the social ladder faster than a knight at a tournament. Sure, they kept the castle's grain stores safe from rodents, but cats were smart cookies. They figured out that looking cute while lounging on a queen's lap beat chasing mice any day. Some cats got so spoiled, they ate from silver bowls and wore collars decorated with precious stones. Fun fact, Richard III actually had his favorite cat's portrait painted. Talk about medieval Instagram. And these castle cats weren't just pets. They were considered good luck charms and even had their own servants to groom them. Ready for the wildest medieval flex ever? Some nobles thought having guard dogs was too basic, so they went for crocodiles in their moats. Yeah, you heard that right. These scaly status symbols came from Egypt, surviving months-long journeys by ship. Most didn't last long in chilly European waters. Turns out crocodiles aren't big fans of British weather. But that didn't stop rich nobles from trying. One Italian count kept his croc in a heated indoor pool, feeding it chicken and fish. The poor thing became a tourist attraction, with visitors paying good money to throw food at it. Talk about a medieval petting zoo gone wrong. Here's something wild. Medieval kings weren't just collecting real animals, they were totally convinced they had mythical ones too. They'd pay fortune tellers and explorers to track down unicorns, and some clever traders made bank selling narwhal tusks as genuine unicorn horns. These horns were worth more than their weight in gold. Kings would use them as cups, believing they'd detect poison. James the Fan of Scotland even put unicorns on his royal coat of arms and kept unicorn handlers on his payroll. I mean, imagine being hired to take care of an animal that doesn't exist. The best part? Some royal zookeepers would secretly attach fake horns to regular horses to keep their jobs. Think your home security system is fancy? Medieval kings took it to a whole new level by using actual leopards as guard dogs. These spotted security guards patrolled castle courtyards, keeping watch with their killer night vision and ninja-like stealth. Kings loved showing off these deadly cats to visitors. Nothing says "don't mess with me" like a leopard lounging by your throne. The best part? They actually trained these big cats to follow basic commands, though I'm betting the training sessions were pretty intense. Some castles even had special leopard runs built into their walls, creating the world's most terrifying patrol routes. But here's the catch. Sometimes these fierce guardians got a little too good at their jobs, sending both intruders and welcome guests running for their lives. Let's talk money. Keeping these exotic pets was like running a 5-star hotel for animals. Take Henry III's polar bear. It chomped through a sheriff's entire yearly salary just in fish. The royal lions? They gobbled up $30 a year in meat. That's about $20,000 in today's cash. And don't get me started on the elephant's food bill. The poor thing drank gallons of wine daily. They thought that's what elephants liked, plus special bread baked just for it. Some kings spent so much on their menageries that Parliament had to step in and say, maybe cool it with the exotic pet shopping spree. But did they listen? Nah, they just taxed people more. Thanks for joining me on this wild tour through history's most outrageous pet collection. If you enjoyed these crazy animal tales, smash that like button and subscribe for more historical shenanigans. Share with your pet-loving friends. They won't believe these stories.